Time's a great healer, they say. Forgotten how much I hate, and I've cleaned this, by the way, how much I hate how much oil it leaks. Oh my God, it's disgusting. Anyway, radiator out of the way. Don't worry, it's not resting on the fins. There's some fans there. I'm going to get the alternator out. And also I have another problem. My breather pipe that I attached to the dipstick tube keeps on shearing, and it never did it last year when I used to run it that way. Now I run it behind, and at a tight angle it does. So it's going to have to go back to live dangerously next to the belt. Look how minging it is. Ugh, filthy, filthy girl. Anyway, I won't film removing the alternator because it is literally just chicken feed. But yeah, I'll get it out of the way. And I forgot to say, I've ordered a new alternator because that is a Repro Lucas POS. I'm going denso. So the denso fits apparently with just it uses a Pinto mount, which goes on the back there. And then, yeah, it should provide more power, be half the weight and more reliable. So I will put this in this video, so it may be a week before it comes out, but we'll see. Anyway, I want to get it out and get my hands dirty. Right, look at it, all lovely and clean. Bloody thing. Right, alternator's out, banished. Where is it? There it is. Effing thing. Right, I'll wait for the denso to arrive and we'll crack on and check out my unholy mess of a garage. Ugh, it's giving me anxiety. Hope you guys appreciate this. It's arrived and it's weeny, weeny, weeny. So, yeah, so fitting it, that is a 10mm hole. That is an M8. M8, which obviously goes quite nicely through here. So this either needs to be enlarged to a 10 or the alternator sleeve down. And then in that bit there, you put what Burton sell as a Pinto edge bracket. And that will go just there. It's mighty close to my horn, so I have to move it. But at the moment, apart from that hole needing enlarging, which I'd prefer to not do because it's original, and the bit of wiring that's a bit different, this looks scarily like a straightforward like-for-like replacement. So I'm just going to go with this for the time being, so I'm not sure I want to put a 10 through there, but we'll see. Oh alas, it's never as straightforward as you hope. So I've just used the 8mm to bolt it in. Obviously it won't be properly fixed like that, but the belt lines up, which is good. So, you know, we're golden there, and there's enough room for the alternator to put a bit of tension on it. Not too much, but so yeah, happy with that. And then we can get to the plug and to the main terminal. However, the Pinto mount is just too big, so it probably needs to, you know, come back. How many thumb widths is that? 1, 2, 3 inches maybe. It needs taking off, so it's going to need an angry disc on it, which means I might break it or cut it wrong. But yeah, that needs cutting. So where I think we're at is you need to drill this out for 10mm or sleeve this down from 10 to 8, and you need to cut this, and then it's just putting a different terminal on here and fixing a plug, and then you should have a 45 amp lightweight reliable Japanese alternator. It's yeah, Looks like a good job, this one, boys. That's what I had to lop off, and that's what I've ended up with. So you can see I got that right in the bloody middle, didn't I? Oh yeah, boy. Engineering level 10 out of 10. So yeah, it just needed a little mod, and then it's just that bottom hole through the alternator. So I'm going to see if I can buy a sleeve, a 10mm to 8mm sleeve, because I think that would be the nicest fix, and I don't have to drill the original casting out, and I can go back to standard if I so chose. But yeah, nice easy job this. I would thoroughly, well, so far I'd recommend it. Obviously I haven't finished it yet, the car isn't running, and we haven't checked the volts or the amps or whatever it is. But yeah, well, there we go. It's in, it's bolted. It's a little bit loose. I can't remember how loose how I usually run it. I might try and tighten it up a bit, but yeah, that essentially is in, minus wiring, minus a different bolt on there to tidy it up, and minus the sleeve stroke 10mm down there. It's taken me all of, what, 40 minutes. Granted, the radiator isn't in. Oh, see my motorsport-esque wiring. Ooh. Ooh. So yeah, looks like a good move, this one. And I've tightened it up now. Look at that. All fits. Loads of room. Everything's there. It's all good. So now to take it off and wait for the other bits to arrive. Right. I bought some 10mm to 8mm bearings to use as sleeves, but they really need to be 10.5mm, but they're hard to get hold of, so I'm just going to rock with that and see how it is once it's all mounted up. I think it'll be fine, because these aren't a tight fit, but although that does have obviously two mountings, it has one, but it is a lot lighter. So I'm going to crack on, get this fitted, and then tomorrow I should hopefully have the plug and the new charging cable, so then I can get it fired up and see if it actually works. Right, it's in. Haven't even snugged it up yet, but it's pretty nice and firm. So I think we are good to rock and roll with this, and yeah, get it all in and buttoned up. Really, this is an M8. I put one spacer in there because it wasn't quite lining up, and that is threaded. But I'm going to put a lock nut on just for a bit of precaution, and then yeah, we'll have to wait till tomorrow for the wiring to arrive. But other than that, nice easy job this. Right, that is everything tightened up. I've got my belt nice and loose like I always run it, but yeah, that's a nice little fit in there. That is absolutely rock solid. So we will be modifying these two wires. Will go onto the new plug. Oh no, not that one, these two. So these two wires will go onto the new plug, and then there is a third wire on the new plug which I will run all the way to the battery terminal. Apparently it senses voltage or something. And then this one will be, well, actually, you know what, I may just use that one to be the third one of the plug, and then I'm going to make a new terminal with a much thicker gauge wire. I think I've got 6A WG wire, and then that will go straight onto the battery post. So should be nice and safe. But yeah, it all looks pretty good to me. So I'll put in the comments or the description or whatever what I've bought and what it's cost, but I'll probably wait to put this video out until I've got the wiring in and it's actually running, so I don't look like a Burke when it breaks. Right, Lotus update. So what I've got is nothing to show you. I have now got a nylon bush in there, which I got a good friend to make, and I got to do it at 10.5 OD by 7.5 inside diameter, and both were wrong, so I had to file them down using cowboy methods, but it does now fit nicely and doesn't wobble around. So I'm going to get this back on, and then I've been doing lots of wiring as well. So I had a right cluster going on here with all of these connected into one, which they shouldn't have been. So this is the switched ignition wire, and that should have a live, so it's going to go there, but we're going to put a over there, I'm going to put an inline fuse in it. This one here, where does that one go? Can't bloody remember now. I think it also goes there. It just needs to go into the ignition circuit, so I think that will tap into there, and then no, that's all the way over there, and then, oh god, you know what, I can't remember, I get so confused. So I believe this is the yellow one, which it is, so that's yellow, so that is basically to tell the alternator turn on, so that needs to go to the switched ignition as well, just there. And then the this one here, which turns into this colour, that turns on the ignition light, which means this isn't required, but ideally if it is required it should go straight into the battery post, but I'm not going to do that because see, it's all the way in the boot, so we'll just put it onto the post under that. But yeah, I've had some proper head scratching around what's going on here, and it's all pretty much in order. You've got the white and the purple and white which come from the ignition, but if you look at all the diagrams there should be a live off the battery post, which would be our friend here, although obviously a different one, and then that bridges those two and then onto this one, which I'm tempted to redo, but I'm also tempted to say that it's worked like this for 20 odd years, been no real electrical problems, touch wood. So I'm just going to leave it be. So we will fuse that, and then I think those two need to go onto the battery, and then we've got to make up a cable with, I've got some beautiful cable, really nice thick stuff, some good connectors to go off the post to charge the battery. So yeah, we're sort of getting there, but 2 steps forward, 1 step back most of the time. Well, isn't that lovely? Made a really nice terminal connection on that with my, I don't know if you can see it, very cheap Amazon crimper, but put some heat shrink over it. I've got some boots on the way that will cover it up so I won't get any shorts in the engine bay. And that will go on the alternator and then feed it round to the battery post over there. Right, before anyone starts, I know this is a bloody mess, but I've left a bit of slack on there so I can cut this shorter and tidy it up, but there it is on, roughly cable tied in place, goes past the what's this, the near side, yeah, the near side rat's nest, threads through there, down there and in. So all we then have to do is put these two together, and then they need to go, oh right, those two need to get married. They're friends, they're happy. And then these two both just need to go into the ignition circuit. So I'll make that happen and put the fuse on, but I don't know if that will be tonight. It's about 8 o'clock and I haven't had my tea yet, so not tonight. Right, I've forgot to do a bit of filming. I've got the alternator fitted, I've got it wired in. I think we're all good to go. So this is the first road test, so if it all goes wrong, you'll be here to witness it. But yeah, so car is cold. See if she starts for the camera. Yeah, she'll go, but battery's a little bit flat. Light doesn't come on and get some charge into the battery. Yeah, so it's off to Wales next week. It's annual track day at Landau. I haven't done anything with it this year, hardly driven it to be honest. I don't know why, I just don't really fancy it. But yeah, off to Landau, so given it, changed all the fluids. I put the fancy stuff, I think I filmed it. Fancy stuff in the gearbox and diff. New engine oil, but my cheap voltmeter is registering volts, so it is charging, which is good. I don't know if it's because I've stripped this back out, but I can certainly hear noises that I didn't hear before. I don't know. Okay, I think, I don't know, I just fancy retiring, and to be honest, I'm not trying to be bothered. I like working on it, but I don't particularly like driving it anymore. I don't know why, fallen out of love. But, from the belt there. I don't know if you can hear that. Maybe running it a little bit loose. Obviously water pump. You know, you don't want to fuck with one of those on a twin cam. Oh, why did you indicate so late? No. Mr. Range Rover, you could have let me go, couldn't you? But you're holding everyone up now. Oh, I thought it felt a bit poorly, I was pulling off in seconds. Voltmeter seems happy. Obviously it's behind me. Yeah, that seems alright. Still not quite warm enough to idle. Might give it a little bit of choke. Keep it going. today, and then we'll drive back. Yeah, the belt's definitely screeching a bit. I might have to put a bit more tension. I have marked the arm where it is, so I know how to tighten it. Leave it like that. I mean, is it doing any harm? You know, as long as it's got enough to charge the damn thing, I don't really mind a little screech here and there. Famous YouTuber's house just to our left. Guess who? I'll do a visual inspection of the engine bay when I get back, but it feels fine. Feels like we're sorted. So there's my mate's mother. If you're watching this, Jimmy, that was your mother. Seems fairly happy, doesn't it? Need to get a boot for that. Funny the way that's moving. If you look at it in real life, it's vibrating really quickly, but the frame rate doesn't quite capture it. Right, I think we're good to go. See the mark I've made there. I'll just tighten it up a smidgen, and then we'll be okay. Go on. You know you want some carvage.